Hi everyone. In this video I wanted to discuss Meghan Markle, the American-born member of the British royal family, former actress and now Duchess of Sussex. She and her husband Prince Harry recently conducted a 10-day royal tour in Southern Africa. ITV's journalist Tom Bradby had access to the couple during the trip and conducted several interviews. In the following short clip, Meghan admits her struggle with the pressures of royal life enhanced by her new role as a mother. In parallel, Harry has vented his frustration with the media, which he believes was in part responsible for his mother's death a couple decades ago. Let's have a look at the short clip and see what we can learn about Meghan, in particular her non-verbals, which include facial expressions and body language. Because it's a very short clip, I'm just gonna play it first.
He's obviously very concerned about protecting you and protecting you from what he felt his mother went through. It's obviously an area one has to tiptoe into very gently, but I don't know what the impact on your physical and mental health of all the pressure that you clearly feel under.
I would say, look, any woman especially when they're pregnant, you're really vulnerable, and so that was made really challenging. And then when you have a newborn,
It's a long time ago, but I remember, yeah.
And especially as a woman, it's a lot. So you add this on top of just trying to be a new mom or trying to be a newlywed. It's, I guess, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay, but it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really okay, since it's really been a struggle?
Yes.
So let's look at this again. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit because the clip is so short anyway, and so we have a little bit of time and we can see a bit more.
He's obviously very concerned about protecting you and...
So she just blinked when he said concern. So blinking in a sense reflects an agreement, and sometimes she's nodding. Let me back up a little bit. So first of all, what we see is signs of fear in her forehead. We see also signs of sadness in her eyes. And then a little bit later we see at the same time happiness, because she has this big smile. So there's these quite bitter, sweet, mixed feelings in her. She also presses her lips together, so she's trying to prevent herself from speaking too openly, because there's these constraints on her as a royal family member. She's also biting her lips a little bit in the beginning. This is a sign of concealed anger, partially because she feels constrained. And lastly, something in Tom Bradby's voice or appearance, or in the setting far away from royal England, being more free in Africa, makes her open up quite a bit. So she's opened up to the interviewer, and in the end that leads to also some very personal statements. So we'll come back to this as well.
Protecting you from what he felt his mother went through.
So blinking again, she agrees with his statements and a little bit of nodding even.
See an area one has to tiptoe into very gently.
Tiptoe, and she shows tense muscles in her jaws and swallowing. There's some uneasiness, agreeing with what he says. So she's reflecting. She's almost like a mirror of what he says to her.
But I don't know what the impact on you.
And she has these wide open eyes. As far as I can tell, quite dilated pupils. She is very much opened up at this moment. She's in a very suggestive state.
Physical and mental health of all the pressure that you clearly feel under.
So she starts to smile when he talks about pressure, so that resonates with her. She feels understood and recognized. So there's still this sadness and the fear, but she at the same time there's also happiness appearing on her face. And this is gonna explode, that happiness, in a second. First there was a relief, she was breathing out, and then there's this huge smile and pure happiness being recognized in her struggles. So she feels very comfortable at this moment. And now her eyes are fluttering, so she's annoyed, and she makes a pause. So now, of course, in reality she can't speak freely, and now that makes her annoyed, and she has to come up with some vague answers.
I would say...
Yes, there's some stress in her face. She's on the spot, she has to answer. She doesn't know how.
Look, any woman when they're...
So now she decides to generalize, so she doesn't have to talk about herself. So any woman,
especially when they're pregnant, you're really vulnerable, and so that was made really challenging. And
So that was made difficult, the past tense, so we don't really know who she's referring to, either by the media or she might even talk about the royal family that they didn't make it easy on her.
and then when you have a newborn,
She's trying, she has these big gaps and she's saying just, and so on. So she's trying to have Tom fill in the gaps or as a listener in general, so she doesn't have to say too much personal stuff.
It's a long time ago, but I remember, yeah.
And especially as a woman, it's a lot. So you add this on top of
So, yeah, these are very vague statements, again, avoiding details.
just trying to be a new mom or trying to be a newlywed. It's,
Again, long pause. Now she's thinking of something which makes her feel contempt. There was an asymmetric smile.
yeah, well, I guess, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
So the contempt might have been directed towards the royal family and also media for not asking these questions, instead for pressuring her and not allowing her to be herself.
It's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
It's a real thing. We don't actually know what she's talking about and behind the scenes, so she uses very vague language.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really? Okay. Since
Again, the sadness and the smile, so she feels somehow very comfortable.
really been a struggle.
Yes.
So now the relief and quite proud at this moment to have come out and to admit the struggle. Okay, I thought this was quite remarkable. Why would she open up here? Again, I said, she's far away from Royal England, but it might also be the interviewer Tom Bradby. Yes, it's a very low, soft voice. It's a very intimate setting.
About protecting you and protect his mother went through.
Here's another view of this interview. That was too fast. Let's do this very, very slow. So that's Tom Bradby and of course Prince Harry.
Every single time I see a camera, every single time I hear a click, every single time I see a flash, it takes me straight back.
So what also could happen here is that she recognizes her father in these two male people. So why do I say this? So here's also her father.
I have a new boyfriend, and
Of course there's this obvious similarity to Harry with the beard and so on, that's for sure. But this little scruffy face is also reminding me of Tom Bradby, and that also might allow her to open up and to speak more freely at this moment. Also on the outside, Meghan has more similarity with her mom. On the inside, she secretly also is loyal to her father, of course. And that seems to come out in this video. So she opens up because Tom seems very trustworthy to her and because of the similarity. Let's look briefly at her mom as well. I don't know much about her, but we see the similarities, and not only in the looks but also in the behavior.
Mom at her daughter's cooking.
So both look down at this moment, so there's a lot of mirroring going on between the two.
It's a day of firsts
She's fiddling around with her hands, so that's a pacifying gesture,
for Duchess of Sussex.
Megan's mom
and we saw this here as well. So both of them doing it, there's mirroring as well. So on the outside and even in her behavior, she's very similar to her mother, but secretly she's loyal to her father. And I think this made her open up in this interview. Okay, so I think we got some insights into what makes Meghan Markle tick and why she was quite candid in this interview in Africa. So I hope you like this little analysis, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.